The Great Baboon Incident. During that first trip to Rwanda, we took some time off, and Frank and Sam took us out in the bush to see the animals. We got to see lions, giraffes, birds of every shape and color, Cape buffalo, wild hogs, and something that looked like a small deer, and my friend the baboon. We first came upon this animal as we were driving down a dirt road. He was the alpha male with a group of females. No doubt he was the alpha. You could tell he had a very arrogant attitude. We stopped to observe our surroundings, and you could tell the baboon was not all that happy with us being in his territory. He kept his distance, but he was always watching us. When we looked directly at him, he would go over to his group and become aggressive with his females, just to show us they were his. We were in the car, getting ready to have a snack. That was when my shop superintendent and I got to talking about the baboon. He told me, "You don't have a hair in your ass if you don't give that baboon that granola bar you're going to eat." Always a sucker for a dare, I took him up on it. Very slowly, I opened the door. The baboon was about 100 feet from me when I got out. I stood there for a couple minutes. I could tell he was agitated, but I couldn't take any of his space. He kept pacing back and forth and then finally sat down to keep an eye on me. I slowly unwrapped the granola bar and stood there. I talked to the baboon to try to calm him. That didn't work very well. In the Midwest, when you walk toward a wild animal, they normally run away. This was Africa, not the Midwest. I was about 50 feet from the car when I took one slow step toward him, which was a very big mistake. I immediately knew I was in trouble. He came at me like a freight train. I dropped the granola bar, turned, and ran like a girl to the car. I grabbed for the door handle and it slipped out of my hand. I tried again, opened the door, and jumped in. My shop superintendent thought it was hilarious, and I was shaking like a dog shitting razor blades. Frank, who had also jumped back in the car, was angry. He told me if that baboon had gotten a hold of me, he would have more than likely killed me, or at the very least tore me up really bad. The only thing that saved me was that when I dropped the granola bar, it caught the interest of the baboon, and he stopped to pick it up. I looked out the window and saw him sitting there eating that bar. I took a picture. He looked at me with a smirk, came closer to the car, looked in the window, and still had that granola bar in his hand. He took around the vehicle just to show us he was boss. He peed on the wheel and walked away. He sat back down just a few feet from the car and finished eating that granola bar. That was a fantastic day. I'd been to a zoo, saw and hunted wild animals in Illinois, and watched the African animals on TV. But to see these animals in the wild is an experience I'll never forget, and luckily lived to talk about it.